let's talk about you. You brought up the Lions earlier, but we didn't really talk about the Packers. And the Packers lost, and I don't know. I'm starting to look at Jordan Love a little differently. Okay? And I thought when he beat the Cowboys at first, we thought that was his coming out party. My God, he was unbelievable. And then he had like 5 or 6 games in a row better, right? At the end of last season. Because in the middle of the season was like, where is he? And then it was like, okay, this guy, it all came together, and then they trashed the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Fast forward to this season, and you realize the Cowboys aren't any good, and they've been trashed by 3 other teams. Okay, everybody. So it's not a Jordan Love coming out party only where he was able to do it against this team that had won 16 straight home games and had this great defense. No. We now know the Cowboys aren't any good, and their defense is terrible. So now you look at the Packers and Jordan Love, and guess what? He's a turnover machine. He had a couple more yesterday, right? Rob, do we have the number, Rob G? I mean, he throws it feels like he throws 2 interceptions every game.
Well, here's the numbers that you should probably want to know. Because this is not just a this season kind of thing. Jordan Love's first 9 games as a starter last year. 14 touchdowns, 10 picks. People were saying maybe they should bench him. Maybe they made the wrong decision.
That, right?
All that stuff. Then he goes on this heater, which is an all-time great heater. The next 8 games, 16 touchdowns, 1 pick, gets himself, secures the bag, largest contract in Packers history.
That included the playoff game. That included that big playoff game in Dallas, and everybody was watching, so they were like, they got their guy. Unbelievable. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love.
And then you fast forward to this season, and it looks eerily similar to the start of last season through 7 games because 2 of them missed with injury. 15 touchdowns, 10 picks. So the sandwiches end of it, the bread part, don't look great. You're hoping he's somewhere in the middle like we saw towards the end of last season.
Well, this is where I come out, and I said this a couple of weeks ago. This is why I think the Packers are in good hands, though, because I think they have the marriage of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Literally what you just said was split exactly. Brett Favre will throw a bunch of touchdowns, 5 touchdowns on Monday Night Football. After his father passed, he looked great. Then Brett Favre will lose you the game because he gambled and threw an interception. That's the story of Brett Favre. However, went to a couple of Super Bowls, won one, was an MVP, a couple times? And so overall, heck of a career, Hall of Famer, especially just on the field. We'll leave off the field for another day.
How about helping the poor? No?
No, we're going to leave that another day. But strictly, we're going to keep it, on in between the lines. Now, I go to Aaron Rodgers, amazing career, Hall of Fame career, arguably, for me, one of the top 3 most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. I mean, he's just pure talent, won a bunch of games, won a bunch of awards. You want more in the postseason from that. You want more wins in the postseason. You want more Super Bowls. Part of that, to me and others, he was too conservative. He wouldn't make the mistake. He was too calculated. And it works during the regular season, but every now and again you got to throw an Eli Manning pass where I'm going to just close my eyes, I'm getting tackled, and hope David Tyree catches it. And I think you have the perfect marriage between the two when it comes to Jordan Love. He's going to take some risks that you're going to scratch your head. He's going to turn it over every now and again, but also think those same things will have him in a successful situation because he's going to take those risks. He's going to be able to make passes and plays that you're like, man, I don't think anybody else could have made that. And he's also talented like an Aaron Rodgers and accurate like an Aaron Rodgers. So I think they have their guy for another decade, and that'll be 40 years of quarterbacking for the Packers where they've been solidified with 3 guys. So he's going to turn it over. He's very banged up, by the way. I mean, you saw him yesterday. I don't even know if he should have been out there. He's so banged up. He's been injured last season a little bit, this season as well. So once he's healthy and at his best strength, I think they still got a guy. And I'd be 1,000% happy to have him. In fact, there might be off the top of my head 5, 6 guys I'll take over him. That's it. Maybe. If the entire NFL. I think they got one of those ones, and they'll be fine as he continues to get healthy and they continue to grow. This is only his, second and 1.5 year starting.
No, but he's been in the league longer than that. And that's the thing, is like the difference, and I'm not saying he's going to be Aaron Rodgers where he had the best touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, so that was in stuff. 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Yeah. This
is his 4th year, and there should be more progress or growth, not to just throw the football up for grabs or whatever. Like, there's got to be, like, and I agree that you see it. There's a lot to like.
Yeah.
There's a
love.
lot.
You ain't want to say love. You ain't see the pun there.
No,
a lot to love.
To like. I'm not into the love that quickly. You know, it takes a little for me.
Yeah, we know.
But it's just worrisome, the interception, that many interceptions, because you already talked about what we got. You got 10,
15 and 10 right now. Yeah.
So, but that could be if you keep on this, that's 20.
Yeah.
Like
he ain't no Jameis Winston.
Okay, we just talked about Jameis Winston at 30, which is ridiculous. But if he were to keep this pace up, he would have 20 interceptions. That's not good enough.
No, it's not. And I don't think.
Then that's what I'm saying.
And that's a fair. Look, that's fair.
All.
I think he knows. I think he's going home like, yo, I can't do that. But again, I just listen, man. When you get one of those ones, man, you got to lock it in. I mean, Dallas has never been confident that Dak is one of those ones, but they paid him because they just like, well, he's good enough.
We've argued about Dak forever, and I never bought into.
That's what I'm saying.
I never bought into him.
Most people didn't. They thought he was a fine quarterback. Like, he played in the league 10, 12, 15 years, perfectly fine. He's better than.
He can't get you to where they need him to go.
Jordan Love is not one of those. I think he's the opposite. I think Jordan Love will win. He already has, but I think he'll continue to be able to win you games. He's going to win some big games in Lambeau, big game for the Packers. I think they got a good one. And I hate it, because he's going to be competing with Jared Goff or whoever the Lions quarterback is in 5 years, for the next decade. Like, they're going to have to deal with Jordan Love and that Packer team just when you thought, man, the Lions can finally own the division for a little while. Here comes Jordan Love making them a legitimate team. I mean, if they win yesterday, they're sitting at 7-2, top of the division, and we're like, here they go again, which they very well still could be if throughout the rest of this season. So he's a turnover. He has turnovers, but I think he's the perfect hybrid of Brett and Aaron Rodgers. Kind of what you want. Take a little risk. I need you to make some gamble-ish plays, some peak Patrick Mahomes type plays where it's like, no. Yes. But also be talented, be accurate like Aaron Rodgers. I think
even we see with Patrick Mahomes, like he wasn't doing that early on in his career, and it's of late with the interceptions, and they're going to happen. I'm not saying you're not going to have 42 touchdowns and 4 interceptions like Aaron Rodgers would do. Like, those are like crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Even Tom Brady had interceptions, or 9 or 8 or whatever. Yeah. But 10
early, what do you mean?
Early
9 or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got a chance to have 20 this year, and if going forward, you just want him to make better decisions. That's all.
And I think he will. I want to throw.
So he has 10 in 7 games, because remember,
he missed a couple.
He missed 2 games, so that's even a higher number.
Jameis Winston somewhere smiling like, come on, you almost there. Come on, now when we play as a team,
you gonna have 30-30?
Yeah, on this 30 for 30. Jameis Winston, the good and the bad, starring Jameis Winston. Last point I want to make, an interesting stat I've always seen, and I was talking to Rob G earlier about it. One of the weird ones, and this is where I say when I talk about the difference between like letting it fly and sometimes you got to make some plays versus being ultra conservative and kind of like, it's not there, maybe I shouldn't. You know what's weird? And I was fooled by this for years with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 0-42 when he's down by 1 point to a above 500 team in the fourth quarter. I said that right, Rob G, because we were talking that. I was telling Rob G, I was like, there's a couple stats I've seen about Aaron Rodgers in comebacks. I didn't believe that because I thought Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back, come on, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's so talented. And I saw him do it. I feel like I saw him do that to the Lions for years. Something about him, he can't come back in the fourth quarter. It's crazy, the stats. Like
I don't even. He threw a Hail Mary to beat the Lions.
No, that was
No, it wasn't.
He was. What was that stat? That one, I can't remember the exact incident of the game, and I was mad because I can't believe it was a beautiful throw. But he can't come back when he's down 1. I don't remember if it was tied then, or I don't remember the exact situation of that game. But it is a real life stat.
I watched the playoff game against Arizona. He also threw a Hail Mary to tie the game or whatever.
Yeah.
They were down. Rob G, when they beat San Francisco, he scored 10 points in the do you remember the game against the 49ers a couple of years ago? They scored. He had.
Is this regular season play?
Yes,
I don't remember this.
It was like they had.
But
he had like 29 seconds. Google it.
So Rob G, this is as of 2022, was it? 2021. Yeah, 2021. So and then there's another one as well, but it's just an odd thing for as good as he is and how talented he is. I assumed he's a regular comeback guy. Like, if Aaron Rodgers has the ball in his hand, it's a comeback. And it's not the case. It's the weirdest thing. And I think a part of that is he just overthinks. He's too calculated. Sometimes you got to let it go and let the chips fall where they may. Sometimes you're going to make the play. Sometimes you're not. I'll come back. I have the other stat to go with that as well.
Here it is, 2018. Watch Aaron Rodgers' late heroics. Green Bay goes past the 49ers. This doesn't make sense to me. And another one was the 49ers. I remember it.
Oh, remember the key thing we said above 500 teams. I don't remember their record then.
2021, the Packers beat the 49ers 30-28 on a game-winning field goal. And he drove the team down in the last minute.
We got to make sure they're 500. That's the stat. Against 500 teams, we got to make sure they're 500. We'll look at that again. That's the key part. It was against plus 500 teams that has been the issue for Aaron Rodgers.